We are live on YouTube.
All right, so thank you all for joining. Let's call to order the OpenJS Foundation Board Meeting public session for February 25, 2022. Brian, please take us forward.
Thanks, Todd. All right, welcome everybody. Up on the screen, we have today's agenda. We will initially go through and approve the meeting minutes from the last call, go through certification, JavaScript Landia, a CPC update, and then standards working group work, some various updates from projects, and a marketing and event update. Does anybody have anything they would like to add to the agenda? All right, not hearing anything, we will go ahead and get started. So first up, approval of the meeting minutes. These had been distributed to the board of directors after the last meeting and then redistributed just prior to the call. Would somebody like to make a motion to adopt the meeting minutes from January 28th?
Yeah, motion to approve.
Thank you, Todd. Do we have a second?
Good.
Thank you, Daniel. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Do you have any opposed? Any abstains?
I abstain.
Oh, thank you, Jordan. And that actually brings the meeting minutes are now approved, and that brings us to our next topic. So, Robin. Oh, Robin, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome Jordan Harband, our new board member from Coinbase. Many of you know Jordan because he's been active with our cross-project council. He's the lead maintainer for NVM, active in Node.js. If you're on the Node.js Slack, that's Jordan, who helps the community out there. And of course, TC39. So Jordan, we are super psyched to have you on the board. Welcome.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
And then it's time for us to say goodbye, but he's not going far, to Miles Borens. Miles was on the Node.js Foundation board, then the OpenJS Foundation board, first as a rep for Google, and then later as the silver rep for GitHub. Miles helped create a lot of the governance structures with many in the community to make us be just the really kind of great, happy JavaScript family that we are today. So I want to say thank you to Miles. But again, he's not going far. He's working on NPM at GitHub and TC39, all super, super important things in our world. Okay, quick note on our training and certification update. As you know, we often take feedback throughout the development of the training and the certification. We hear feedback from you. We make updates based on new node versions, and then we do some analyses every so often. So one of the things we heard is some folks were timing out a little bit on the exam. So our platform team fixed that and upped the timeout. We're also making some changes to international keyboards through the Apache Project Guacamole project, some copy paste things and some shortcuts. I think that will help folks who are working in different languages. We are still in the process of working through our LIFT scholarships for the training and certification. And as many of you saw, we recently had a sale February 8th to 11th. So we'll have a few of those throughout the year. So take a look. Our training program also has just been updated by Dave Clements, who's our expert in the area. And we get Dave live and in person at OpenJS World on Monday, June 6th. So if that's something you're interested in, you can do an add-on on your deal. And then again, we do get feedback, and this is some of the feedback we got in the last month, which was pretty cool, on how the certification exam, what their experience is like and how they expect to use it in the future. So that was nice to see. So a lot of this comes in anonymously. So thank you for folks who give us that feedback. Okay. Hit the next slide. JavaScript Landia. Thanks folks for all of you who renewed your subscription for 2022. We have 620 to date. And I know we're going to be working on some fun things at OpenJS World for you to take part in virtually and in person. So stay tuned for that. Next slide. CPC, I'll hand that off to Michael Dawson.
Thanks. So just a couple things that, were discussed in the latest meeting. The Jordan being elected as a new silver representative, and that the Node.js trademark was transferred over to the OpenJS Foundation. We're all very happy about that. And, thanks to Joint for doing that. In terms of the collaboration network updates, there is a discussion ongoing with the Urban Computing Foundation in terms of them maybe joining the OpenJS Foundation, and part of that would potentially be spinning up a new collaboration network. And so there's been some discussion around the next steps in terms of like the process for how that would take place. Next page. In terms of the sort of ongoing work of the CPC, one of the areas that is sort of spinning up as a focus is security. Mostly on the supply chain side. There's been lots of discussion, sort of focus on that in the broader software development ecosystem. There's been a Slack channel created on Slack, and some individual meetings to discuss like what the OpenJS Foundation can do to help the various projects, both in terms of guidance, advice, as well as resources to help move things forward on that front. And that's also another area where there's some discussion about opening a collaboration space for people who are interested in working on that. We've also discussed Google Summer of Code. We know Electrona is working on some submissions, and there was just a discussion to see whether there's any other projects that wanted to submit some submissions there. As mentioned in the past, we're still working on clarifying some of the requirements. And I think there's a PR now, which sort of adds in some of the proposals on that front that we're reviewing and discussing. We've also had, since the last board meeting, some good discussions around the support for license checking, and the next step is we're really waiting to hear back from the Linux Foundation to hear if they're going to take ownership for driving a tool that could be used across projects on that front. The next page. And I guess that takes us to the end. I don't know if anybody has any questions on what's up with the CPC this time. If not, back to you, Robin.
Great, thanks, Michael. Quick update on our standards working group. We're still in the process of building out our spec ed resource site. We do have a repo under OpenJS that has those resources. So if there's something that you're working on that you want to add, please go to that. And then we're taking a look at some of the priorities that the working group had identified last year. They tackled number one last year, which was education. The one that the group is working on this year is how to make standards bodies nicer places to work. So we have a couple of kind of action items going on there. There's going to be a standards training workshop at OpenJS World with Heymanth, who many of you know, who has some education content out there with Read Specs with Us, and Jordan's helping on that. And then together with the CPC, we'll be working on a recognition and awards program for sort of those unsung heroes who work in all areas in contributing code and more. So stay tuned for that. Okay, project updates. Okay, projects. I'm sure we're missing like a bazillion of them, but here are some of the hot ones that are out that we captured. But Node 17.6 is out. They had some releases before, so thanks to all those folks who worked hard on that. Fastify, we have a user survey out. So you'll see a link, go to our website. We need feedback, so please fill that out. Node-RED did a couple of releases this last month. 2.2.2 is the latest, check it out. And Emily, if you all know, Arrow, has been working on the international message format proposal, and it was accepted by ECMA 402 for stage 1. So lots of reasons to celebrate that. ESLint had a great group of contributors, helped build out a cool new website from graphics and copy and technology. So be sure to check that out. Our new friends from JSON Schema, they're a new incubation project. At OpenJS, they're holding office hours. You can get all the details either from the JSON schema site or through our site. Electron 17 was shipped, big lift, thanks to all who did that. And then the WebDriver team just announced that they are self-certified with the Open Source Security Foundation best practices, formerly the CII. So lots of good things happening in the projects. And apologies again if I missed some. Okay, marketing, I'm going to pass this to Alex.
Thanks, Robin. Yeah, so just again, a huge milestone for our community was getting the Node.js trademarks moved over to OpenJS Foundation from Joyent, and we're really grateful to everyone who helped make that happen. And it was a pretty big deal on social media. We also got written about in InfoWorld by Paul Krill, which is this article headlining here. You know, we published about it on the blog and did an over-the-wire press release, of course. It was definitely noteworthy and pretty much made our week last week, and hopefully everybody else's too. We can move on.
Yeah, big thanks to Joyent for making that happen. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Sean.
And the parent Samsung, they came through as well too.
Samsung, yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that announcement definitely gave us a nice boost on Twitter in the month of February. Our impressions are very up. You can see it's like 677% over the last month. Not that we didn't have a lot of impressions last month, but there was definitely a surge here with a single tweet gaining over 100,000 impressions. The JSON schema announcement that came at the very end of January, which is still captured in this 28-day look back, also did very well. It got a lot of attention. And then some other things that we've been focusing on are trying to get CFP submissions for OpenJS World and promoting the speakers at OpenJS World. But really, I think the highlight this month is the Node.js trademarks. And next slide. Yeah, so here's just a 3-month look back instead of the default 28 days. So here again, lots of impressions compared to the previous month of January. December had a lot of impressions too, possibly because of some sales, maybe OpenJS World announcements that went out. But this was a huge month for us. And next slide. So social media, just another view from one of our reporting tools, which is HubSpot. And so you can see that our audience has exceeded 350,000 followers. We did publish more posts or tweets in the last month than the month before, which is good. You know, I mean, it's always a balancing act of posting and then not spamming and posting stuff that people actually care about so that we don't have the opposite effect, which is to reduce our followers. So it looks like this month we've been okay there, and we got more shared content this month as well. Next slide. So for LinkedIn, kind of the same trend where we got more sharing, more interactions overall. This note down here about clicks is a discrepancy between the HubSpot reporting tool and the one that's built into LinkedIn. I suspect that this is a glitch in HubSpot because if we go to the next slide, we obviously did not have 0 clicks. So that was the main reason for capturing this screen. And next slide. YouTube is doing well. Our views are about the same as usual this month. And you can see some of our top performing content. The fast introduction to Fastify by Matteo does very well. We gained 30 new subscribers, which is 13 less than usual, but we're still growing. And next slide. And on here, I was personally happy to see that compared to the last month, we had 4.9% female identified viewers on our YouTube content. It's an improvement from 0. Next slide, please. And these are some of the blogs that we have recently published. Feel free to visit our blog to read more about some of these updates. The CFPs is closing this weekend. You can learn more about JSON schema, our speakers list as it stands for now for OpenJS World. The training and certification discounts have expired for now, but we also have the blog out about the Node.js trademarks and the updated board of directors. Next slide. And here are some website metrics just to try to draw a correlation between some of our activities and promotions on social media. It's not a surprise to me that the certification page is frequently visited and was visited to some extent more so in February because of the sale. We also have people looking at our OpenJS World section, although for some reason it looks like they're still going to the 2021 site. People are interested in learning more about our projects, and it looks like JavaScriptlandia got a bump up this month, so that's good to see since we have some planned initiatives for that too. And next slide, please. Here's just a breakdown of the site visits and the referring channels, and another view of our top pages. You can see like the share of different pages being gained or changing. I just thought it was interesting that there were more people visiting other pages, which are sort of probably those like one-off pages further down in the list on the previous slide. It's just something that I think is good to pay attention to see if there are areas of our site that are in need of improvement. And we did have fewer visits this month overall, but it didn't really, I mean, we still had a great month overall with the sale and with the Node.js announcement. I think that should be everything. Yep, that's it.
Okay, I'll give a quick update on our event. First, thanks to our program committee for working so hard on this. Dan is on the call. It's been helpful. Thank you. We've got some great keynote speakers lined up. We have a few other slots that are being filled in, but really excited to see these great folks. We're having 2 days of keynotes on Tuesday, Wednesday, the 7th and 8th. And again, as Alex mentioned, our CFPs close this weekend, given all the time zones. We're publicizing February 25th, but we'll really lock the tool down on Sunday. And the program committee will go hard at work and taking a look at those. The next slide. Registration is open, and we'll start promoting that really broadly coming up soon, because there is an early bird discount that ends on April 8th. And we've also just gone live with our scholarship page. So if you'd really love to go, but maybe can't afford it, take a look at our scholarship page and reach out to us. Okay. Next slide. Of course, we're continuing to monitor health and safety concerns with the Linux Foundation. They have a physician that they consult with as well. And the current policies are outlined there. And we've had some conferences like last summer, pre-Omicron, that followed those guidelines and seemed to do pretty well. So we're continuing to monitor that, but we are still on in-person plus hybrid. Okay. And again, sponsorships are available. Been talking to a lot of great companies out there. They are filling up fast with some of those top slots. And so if you're interested in the sponsorships, reach out to me directly any which way, and we can talk through some various options. Michael, did you have a question? I missed your chat as I was talking.
I was just making a comment on the OpenJS.
On the marketing slides, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that we need to discuss it, but I just wanted to comment that I really wish we had something that was more representative of what people are watching across the projects, because that OpenJS YouTube is a very small subset of what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So the showing the top things actually can give a misleading view of what people are watching and are most interested in.
That's right.
That's
So,
a good
anyway.
point. We should talk about it offline because I'm only showing what is available to me from our channel analytics, but maybe there's a way I can coordinate with some people to see, to drill down on the project level, what's being viewed.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, maybe we can talk about it offline because that would be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Just a quick note on our work back schedule. I love deadlines, my favorite thing. So we're hitting those. And this is when you will see the full schedule go live. Again, lots of fun things being added. We're trying to build in some fun activities in addition to all the great content. And I think that may be it, Brian. That's all I have. Is there any other questions? Yeah, what Michael pointed out is really good. Again, the data we present on marketing are from our OpenJS channels. We have 39 projects, I think, as of today. So if we work with all of those, I'm sure the numbers look quite different. So we'll work on that.
I guess what I would say for today is the team did an excellent job of putting together some really great information that all of the projects should see, and be planning ahead a little bit towards the OpenJS Foundation event that's coming up. If we could see how this gets out on Twitter, and maybe all of us help to go and promote it, and those of you who are watching and listening to go and do the same, I think it would be great. I think we've got a lot of great work going on, and making sure others are aware of it and get psyched and prepped for what's coming. I think it's going to be a good thing. I think we'll be on as an event. I just can't believe that we won't be.
Yeah, I think lots of people are really looking forward to the event and the collaborator summit that'll be part of it. And we're also hoping that we can get back and get that in-person contact again.
Yeah. So just a quick, Monday is training. We have Node.js and we have native script trainings. So we'll be promoting those more broadly. Tuesday, Wednesday are the breakout sessions and the keynotes. And then Thursday, Friday are the projects collaborator summits, in addition to a CPC collaborator summits, where you have a lot of the contributors gathering. And if you really want to be an active contributor to a project, I'd really recommend you seek out those collab summits, and as those will start populating in the schedule as well.
So if you're watching this, please help spread the word.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. Okay. Brian, you want to close us out, Todd?
Yeah, if there's nothing else, thank you all. Thank you again, staff. This was great material. And let's call this session of the OpenJS Foundation Board to a close.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.